Hi everyone. This video will be learning about chapter 1 lesson 7, which is about transformation in the coordinate plane. Now already you know what is a coordinate plane. It is when the x-axis and the y-axis have crossed each other with the four squares which formed are called as the coordinate plane, and they are called also as quadrants. The four squares are also called as quadrants. So what is this transformation? Let's see. Now what is transformation? Now in English, usually if you are using this word in English, transform means to change. Transformation means to change something. So similar concept is applied here, similar meaning is applied here, but then because this is math, it's applied with figures. Okay, so a transformation is a change in the position, size or shape of a figure. So if there is any change in the position or in the size or in the shape of a figure, then we call it as transformation, that the figure has transformed, the figure has changed. So any of this, if the figure has changed its position, means the place or the size or the shape, then we call it as a transformation. Now these are some things which you need to learn before you know about transformation. The original figure is called as the pre-image. Now again here, this one pre, it's not even a word, it's a suffix, you call a prefix. Okay, so this one, maybe you know about prefixes and suffixes. So this is a prefix. So pre means before. Okay, pre means before. So if it is joined with the word image, that means the before image. So the original figure, that's the figure in the question, is called as the pre-image. The resulting figure is called the image, means the one which we are going to draw is called as the image. So the question, the figure already given in the question is called as pre-image because that's before image, and then the new one after the transformation is called as the image. Arrow notation is used to describe a transformation. This arrow notation is nothing but an arrow which shows how the pre-image has transformed into an image. Then this symbol is called as the prime. They are used to label the image of image, which means after you do the transformation for the figure, when we label A, B, C, we use this sign primes. So they are used to label the image. Now you can see this is a pre-image. How do you know it's a pre-image? Look at the letters. It's just A, B, and C. But there is an arrow which shows that this triangle has been transformed into A prime, B prime, C prime. So which means this is the image and this is the pre-image. Always the pre-image does not have the prime sign, but the image has the prime signs. Then this is called an arrow notation. This is how you use arrow notation to write a transformation. See, triangle ABC, the arrow, which means it has been transformed into triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at what are the types of transformation. So we have three types of transformations. The first one is a reflection. Now all of you might be very aware of this. Reflection is the mirror image. Another word we could use is the mirror image. Like when you stand in front of the mirror, what you see in the mirror is called a reflection. Or when you just peep into when you go to the beach, when you look at yourself in the water, that's also called as a reflection, right? So a reflection is something which flips the figure. You can see how it has flipped the letter F. This is the pre-image. So letter F has been flipped into this as, so we call that a reflection, and this is the reflection line. Okay, so if any figure has been flipped, that is called as a reflection. The second transformation we have is rotation. Rotate means to go around. So rotation takes the figure around the point. Okay, so F is the pre-image and this F is the image. See, they have shown with the arrow. It keeps rotating. Now there are two ways you can rotate. Either you rotate it to the right side completely, or you can even rotate it to the left side. So if any figure has been rotated to the right side, that is called as clockwise rotation. Clockwise. What is the meaning of clockwise? It's the same side in which the hands of a clock move. So that is called clockwise, and counterclockwise is the opposite side in which the hands of a clock move. So you need to remember these two things about rotation. Rotation is when you move the figure around the a point, so it will in fact change the figure up and down. It's not simple as this. It will keep changing the figures. And also it can happen in two ways, either the clockwise way in which the hands of a clock move, or the counterclockwise way in which the opposite sides of the hands of a clock move. The third form, the transformation, is a translation, which is a very easy transformation. It's just sliding the figure into another place. Just move it up, move it. That's it. It doesn't change the shape. It doesn't change anything. Just changes the place. Okay. So you can move it to the right. You can move it to the left. You can move it up. You can move it down anywhere. It depends on the question. So translation is just sliding of the figure. Rotation is to turn the figure around, and reflection is just a flip of a figure. Okay, now let's move on and see. Identify each transformation, then use arrow notation to describe the transformation. So now you can identify which is the image and which is the pre-image. I already told you how do you identify. Just look at this letter. It doesn't have the prime sign, which means this is the pre-image and this is the image. So how did this blue rectangle become this red rectangle? First check the coordinates. They're in the same place. They did not turn to the other side. Nothing happened. So this kind of just a slide across is called as a translation. So the transformation is a translation. Just slide it out, either down, up, left, right. Just sliding only means from this place we are moving the figure to another place. So this is called translation. So how do you use the arrow notation? Just write that MNOP. Now this is a rectangle, but we don't write the rectangle sign. But if it was a triangle, we need to write that MNOP. Just the arrow, and then you could say M prime, N prime, O prime, P prime. Means M became M prime, N became N prime, O became O prime, P became P prime. That's the concept, nothing else. This is how you use arrow notation to describe the transformation. Okay, now the next one, here we have two triangles, the red and the blue. Now, which is the pre-image? Is it the red one? It's the blue one, right? It's the blue one. How do we know? Because it is just written with letters. It doesn't have the prime sign. So this is the image and this is the pre-image. So how did this XYZ become something like this? It, as you can see, even the coordinates have flipped. X is here, X prime is here. Z is here, Z prime is here. Y is here, Y prime is here. So it's like complete flip of the coordinates. Now, if it was a translation, you will just move it across. If it was a reflection, nothing changes except this last point, it will move to the other side. So this is going to be a rotation. So because this became like this, now also you need to identify which side. Is it clockwise or counterclockwise? So this has moved to this side, this has rotated to this side, means it has followed counterclockwise. So the transformation is a rotation of 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now you don't need to go deep into this. Just even if you mention transformation is a rotation counterclockwise, that's perfectly fine, because these lessons you will take later on in details. Okay. Now, let's try one question. Find the coordinates for the image of JKLM after the translation. So this is the rule for translation which they have given. Now, always remember, this kind of rule will only be given for translation. For rotation, we don't follow this minus and plus rules. They have different rules. Later on, not now. You will learn them. Okay, so for translation only, we will add or subtract numbers. From the value of x, either we subtract or add, and from the value of y also we add or subtract. This happens only during translation. So whenever you find a rule in this way, just remember that it is talking about translation. So we need to draw the image. Now, all what we need to do is first we need to find the coordinates for them. Without finding the coordinates, we can't do anything. So let's write down the coordinates. So for j, it's 1, 1. Okay, this is the point of j, so it's 1, 1. And for k, it is 3 and 1, 3, 1. Then for L, it is negative 3 and it's 3 and negative 4, because this is L, so it touches the x-axis at 3 and it touches the y-axis at negative 4. And for M, it is 1 and negative 4. So for M, it is 1 and negative 4. So these are the coordinates. Now we are going to apply the rule for translation. How are we going to apply that? From every value of x, we are going to minus 2, and for every value of y, we are going to add 4. So this is the value of x. So from every value of x, we're going to minus 2. From every value of y, we are going to add 4. That's the translation rule given to us. So similarly, we will do the same for all. So 1 minus 2 will give us a minus 1. 1 plus 4 will give us a 5. So this is the new coordinates. That's j prime for this for the image. So similarly, we will do the remaining all the same. We will minus 2 from the value of x, and we will add 4 to the values of y. So when you do that, you will get these coordinates. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to draw the image. So negative 1, 5 is here. Negative 1 and 5. 1 and 5 is here. 1 and 0 is here. This is 1 and 0. Negative 1 and 0. So you just need to join them and name them. So x prime, z, j prime, k prime, l prime, and n prime. I have not done that here, but it is always that you need to name them. Okay, now what kind of translation has taken place? What kind of transformation has taken place here? It's just a translation, just a moving of this pre-image to the upper side, upper left, you could call, right? Up and left. So this is called as a translation. So hopefully that part of the lesson is clear for you. So let's start practicing, because that's the only thing which could make us perfect. Starting with this question. Apply the vocabulary from this lesson to answer each question. Given the transformation triangle XYZ has been transformed into triangle X prime, Y prime, Z prime, name the pre-image and the image of the transformation. This is easy. You know how to identify the pre-image and the image. So the pre-image is going to be triangle XYZ, right? Triangle X, Y, and Z. And the image is going to be the primes, triangle X prime, Y prime, and Z prime. I think I need to change the thickness. Yes. Number 2, the types of transformation of geometric figures in the coordinate plane can be described as a slide, a flip, or a turn. So when I'm explaining, I did use these words. What are the other names used to identify these transformations? Now, what are the mathematical words used to say instead of slide? For slide, we learned about 3 transformations, right? Translation, reflection, rotation. So slide comes under which one? It comes under translation, because it's just moving away. Slide. And then for flip is going to be, is it going to be for rotation? Flip, just to flip means turn it around, turn it to the other side, like a flip the page. Flip the page means turn the page. So just turn is called a reflection. And what is the synonym for turn? The synonym for turn is rotate. So rotation. Okay, so instead of slide, we say translation. Flip is reflection. Turn is rotation. Okay, let's do this. 2 questions. Identify each transformation. So you need to say how did the pre-image become the image. Then use Addon notation to describe the transformation. So the pre-image here is the blue triangle. As you know, you know how to identify the pre-image and the image now. This is the pre-image. So how did it become this? Is it because of rotation? Do you think if it rotates, it will be like this? It's not translation. If it is translation, it will not change the shape. I mean, it will be the same, but it would have just moved. So this is going to be a reflection. And that too, you need to use the arrow notation. So you just say triangle ABC has been transformed to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. That's how you use the arrow notation to describe the transformation. Now again, this question PQRS. Now this is the image, pre-image here, the blue one, as they don't have the primes. How did it become like this? Can I draw something like that? No, I can't, because the coordinates are in the same place. They did not move. So I cannot draw an arrow like this, right? So I could draw an arrow like that, just moved. See, they are in the same place. P, Q, R, S. P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime. So this is not a rotation. If it was a rotation, it would have been a complete, like a turn. The P prime will come here, Q prime will come here. It's a complete turn. So there's not a complete turn. This is a translation. Sorry, this is a, yeah, it's a translation. Translation, so you need to use the arrow notation. PQRS has been transformed to P prime, Q prime, R prime, and S prime. So this is how you write the transformation. Let's move to the next question. A figure has vertices at A, B, C. These are the vertices. After a transformation, the image has these vertices. Draw the pre-image and image, identify the transformation. So this is going to be a triangle because we have 3 coordinates. So first let's start by drawing the pre-image. So pre-image is negative, A is negative 3 and 2, negative 3 and 2, negative 1 and 1 is B, negative 1 and negative 1. So it's B here. Let me write down A, B, and C is negative 4 and negative 2. So it is here. So this is C prime. So let's join them. Now for joining, I will use another color. So just join them, A to B, B to C, A to C. Why did I write prime here? It's only C because it's the image. Sorry, it's the pre-image. Okay, now let's draw the image. That's 3, 2. So 3 and 2, negative 3 and 2 is here. Negative B prime is 1 and negative 1. So 1 and negative 1 is here. So this is A prime, B prime. I think by the time we draw this, you could easily identify what kind of transformation it is. C prime is 4 and negative 2. C prime. So let me join them. So A to B, A prime to B prime, B prime to C prime, and then back to A prime to C prime. So what kind of transformation has taken place? Is this a rotation? Could it be a rotation? Can it rotate? Do you think if it rotates, these coordinates will be in the same place? No, they are not going to be in the same place. In fact, A will come down like that. Could it be a translation if you move the figure? It cannot be. If you move the figure, it will not change the side. The changing of the side is more on like mostly for reflection. So the transformation is a reflection. This is how you identify transformation. So just a reflection because the AC became to this side, that's all. Okay, so easy. Let's do one more question. Now you could pause the video here, try it by yourself and then check your answers. It's always better to do it that way. But if you're not willing to do that, you can just continue with me. The coordinates of the vertices of triangle DEF are DEF. They have given the coordinates. Find the coordinates for the image of triangle DEF after the translation. So there's the translation here. Remember I told you this kind of rule comes only for translation. Minus or plus comes only for translation. And if you ask me, is this rule the same for all the questions? No, it will be different for every question. So first let's find out the coordinates for the image. So D is 2 and 3. E is 1 and 1, 1, 1. F is 4 and 0. So the rule is from every value of x minus 3. So from the values of x, that is this is x and this is y. So from every value of x, that means from 2, I will subtract 3. From every value of y, you have to minus 2. So 3 minus 2. Similarly, From value of x, I will minus 3. Why am I subtracting 3? Because the rule says so. So 1 minus 2. I did 1 minus 2 also because the rule says so. 1 minus 2. So from value of y, I will subtract 2. Similarly, it is going to be 4 minus 3, 0 minus 2. So let's find out the coordinates for the image. So d prime, e prime, and f prime. So 2 minus 3 is going to give me a minus 1. 3 minus 2 is going to give me 1. Similarly for E, 1 minus 3 is negative 2, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. For F prime, 4 minus 3 is 1, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So let's start drawing now. First, let's draw the pre-image. So for the pre-image, it's D is 2 and 3, that's here. So this is D. E is 1 and 1 here. And F is 4 and 0. So F is here. So let's join them. So D to E, E to F, and D to F. So this is the triangle. Now let's draw the image. This is the pre-image. So let's draw the image now. For the image, it's negative 1 and 1. So negative 1 and 1 is here. This is going to be D prime. E prime is negative 2, negative 1. So negative 2, negative 1. It's here, E prime. F prime is 1 and negative 2. 1 and negative 2. This is F prime. Let's join them. Teal again. Okay. That's a bit lighter. So D prime to E prime to F prime, and D prime to F prime. So as already in the question, they have given us that it's a transformation. So it has just slipped, right? It's just a slip of the figure, just we are moving it away. From here, we moved it across, that's all. So this is how your image and pre-image will look after the transformation. Hopefully the lesson is clear. It's a very interesting lesson because the more you do, the more you will get practice, definitely. So always keep practicing, keep doing more questions so that you will remember what you are learning, because math, you can remember math just by practicing, not by memorizing or by just reading something or watching something. The only way to remember math throughout your school or even after school is only to practice them. So keep practicing until we meet in another video.